name is Celine Tusala. I am 63 years old. I come from Bougainville village, Kono constituency in South Bougainville. I am the founder and the principal of current Bougainville College of Nursing. I would like to give a brief history about this institution that grew out of nothing. I am humbled to give a brief background of myself as an educationist in the field of nursing profession. In 1989, I applied to St. Mary's School of Nursing to do my certificate in midwifery nursing. As soon as I came home at the end of 1989, the Civil War escalated and I came on the second last plane that landed at Aropa Airport. From then onwards, it was a history. But in 1994, I resurfaced at a care center with many of my relatives. At a care center, I decided just staying in the care center was a waste of time. So I decided to come out of that care center at Tobago, and I ended up in Buka. And while in Buka, I applied to University of Goroka to study for my diploma in teaching. I was accepted and I went away to Goroka for a year. I gained my diploma and came back. While I came back to Buka, I had a call from St. Mary's School of Nursing Vunapope to go and teach at Vunapope. I went to St. Mary's School of Nursing Vunapope in 1995 and I've been there for 10 years. In 2005, I realized there were no Bougainvilleans enrolling at St. Mary's School of Nursing. If they were not enrolling at St. Mary's School of Nursing, where else were they going to? I called the other School of Nursing and what they told me was a sad story, that not many Bougainvilleans were applying how to train as nurses. That prompted me. It instilled something into my mind that I should come back, resign and come back. So in 2005, after 10 years of teaching at St. Mary's School of Nursing in Vunapope, I resigned and I came home. When I arrived back in Bougainville, it was a strange place for me because I've been away for 10 years. The situation in Bougainville made me wanted to give something back to my community. While in Bougainville, I was employed by an OSAID program that was focusing on improving the maternal child health statistics on Bougainville. That was devastating that time because of non-existence of services throughout Bougainville. And I was employed. I was lucky to be employed by this program, and I started from 2006 to 2009. In 2009, I decided I still want to pursue my dreams, and I applied for an OSAID scholarship and I was accepted to do Master of Nursing in Australia. The university that I was accepted to was Flinders University in South Australia, in the heart of Adelaide City. In 2010, I went away 2011, I went for studies and came back in 2012. In Australia, I completed my Master of Nursing and Midwifery. And in 2013, I came back home. When I came back, that OSAID program that I was employed by was no longer here. So I had to be employed by the Department of Health. When I was based in the heart of the department itself, I realized we didn't have enough nurses. The nurses we had in the workforce were either blind or aging. All those contributed to a very poor performance in all the statistics under maternal child health. So I decided I should start a school because I'm an educationist. I acquired my health teaching certificate from UOG. Now I came back with a master's. So what is going to stop me from starting a school? In 2014, I started to negotiate, just looking around, and we met a lot of obstacles. Obstacles in terms of people challenging me for my knowledge, because many of them didn't know my background. I equipped myself with all these degrees and I came home because I knew if people knew that I was highly intelligent, nobody would challenge me. And that is exactly what happened. In 2015, I came down to the town of Arawa Church, just trying to look where I can set up. Unfortunately, there were a lot of people who were saying, oh, she's going to start a school that is just going to get money from the students and nothing will happen. And all the criticisms, I wanted to show them that I am unique in the way I was thinking. And before 2016, I met a friend, an old friend, and I was discussing this with her and she told me, I have a space in my house where you can start. Later on, if you collect some school fees, we can transform that into a classroom. And that gave me this positive thinking, all right? At least we have a place to start. The rest is history. We started at section 6, and that was under a residential area. At the same time, when I started the school, I called the nursing council in Port Moresby. That time, the registrar of nursing council was my personal friend, and both of us did our Master of Nursing in Flinders University. And I called her, I'm starting a school. She told me, you are capable. Go ahead and start a school. It is for your people. If you don't start it, who else will start it? I will support you. I will back you up from this office. And that is exactly what she did. On the 29th of February 2016, the school under that residential house opened its door and we enrolled a total of 40 non-school leavers. Many of these students were dropouts for as long as the Bougainville crisis went on. But I told them, we can tap into you and we will see how we go with your little knowledge that you have kept all these years for maybe 20 years or more than 20 years. And that is what happened. 40 students enrolled on the 29th of February 2016. And my friend, Dr. Nina Joseph from the Nursing Council, came to visit me in April Just imagine January, February, March, April. After 4 months, she arrived here in Arawa. Before she arrived, she told me, do the groundwork. Make sure you call people who are politically respected by the community in Arawa. Just handpick them and allow them, ask them to wait for me so that we can have a big meeting. At the same time, Joe Lera was the regional member for Bougainville. I salute this guy because he supported me a lot during his reign as a regional member. Why I mentioned him? Because when we were struggling to start the school, we didn't have any logistics. So what Joe Lera did was allow us to use his vehicle to travel from Buka to Warawa. And also he gave me a sum of 10,000 kina for us to utilize while Dr. Nina Joseph was in Arawa. So my tribute goes back to Joe Lera. And that is when Dr. Nina came and met all the stakeholders in Arawa. She also told me to come up with a board of governors. And to this day, there are still the same board of governors who had believed in me that we would do something, and they are still with the board. And there are 4 people whom I also value their contribution of ideas. These are local leaders in this town who are highly respected. They are still with the school. So that is how we started. 2016, 2017, 2018, full 3 years. Within that full 3 years, I received a provisional license for the school that was handed by Dr. Nina Joseph as the Registrar of the Nursing Council. Let me just give you a background of what Nursing Council does. Nursing Council in the country regulates the way we practice, and they also give us licenses. And these licenses we use in the other health facilities to treat patients. Without a license, you have no right to hold a patient. Patients have rights, so therefore nurses, when they graduate, they must always have a license. So we were working with a provisional license from 2016 until last year, 2023. That was when I got my full registration of the institution. And it has been a struggle. Along the way, in 2020, DHEST came in. How DHEST came in was also a history in its making. I had to introduce Arawa School of Nursing myself to the DHEST when they came for a meeting in Rabaul. So I invited them to come to Bougainville. When they came to Bougainville, they couldn't believe that we could run a nursing program under a house. At the same time, in 2019, I also introduced another program called Community Health Workers Program. This was taken from Lemakot School of Community Health Worker Training College. And I asked the principal to come and start this program as a dual program within our School of Nursing. The reason why we got this program on board because of the failure, the attrition rate from the diploma program. We didn't want these people to go back to the village because they had some background of nursing. So we just wanted them to continue with a 2-year program. To cut the story short, I have graduated 120 general nurses around Bougainville who was now currently employed, and 90 from the dual program who are currently employed. The dual program was also advised to me by Dr. Nina Joseph to realign. Realign meaning it must be a standalone institution. And this also starts off with another history, how I started the CHW program at Tanamalo in Haku. And just last week I attended their 10th graduation at Tanamalo. They have graduated about 70. So 70 plus a total of 90 that I graduated from the dual program at Tarawa School of Nursing is almost 160. So far I can say I'm positive. We are doing fine. Although we had a lot of challenges from politicians, from men, because maybe I'm a female, I don't know. But I always believed in myself that what I was doing was for the common good of Bougainvillians. Bougainvillians who are so afraid to go out of the province. And we must bring something closer to home so that they can confidently attend this institution without any harassment or whatever. Because with the Bougainville crisis, students are still reluctant to go out of the province. And having institutions back on Bougainville gives us a confidence that we can train our own workforce. And we have done that. Just last year we opened a new facility. And this facility is a state-of-the-art facility. It was funded by DHEST at a cost of 4.7 million. And one of the things that people used to really challenge me for is how money was spent on Bougainville. Bougainville has a history of corruption. But with my project, I assured DHEST that kind of money must be deposited directly into the school account. And you can test me on this one, if there was misuse or whatever. So every time DHEST will deposit money stage by stage into our school account. And we would pay the contractor from our school account. To cut the story short, that building was supposed to be completed in 8 months. It took 2 years. So within the 2 years, that money was well spent. Today we have a state-of-the-art classroom that the students enjoy. And with the classroom, we also have a dormitory that was funded by Joe Lera when he was a regional member. I just want to express a little bit of how I feel. Sometimes I feel alone because I'm a female and men seem to challenge me all the time. And in my culture, we come from a patrilineal society. In my culture, it is unique for a woman like me to gain that leadership role, to acquire something bigger than me. And that is the institution itself, with the success stories that every year comes out of this institution. Success stories of graduating certified nurses with a diploma. But God is there. to uplift my spirit. And I feel I am not alone. I can networking with women leaders. It's also one of my strengths. When I network with female leaders, it gives us an avenue to discuss and share ideas. Share ideas, they guide me on how to move forward. Today, this year, it has come to a stage that I feel that I am fully, um, I have fully accomplished what I have planned in my life. And next year in February, we are going to celebrate the 10th anniversary of what is to be known as our School of Nursing. Last year, with a new building, with our aspiration to become an independent state of Bougainville, I decided to change the name from Marawa to Bougainville College of Nursing. And I continue to challenge myself because I'm also a Bougainville crisis survivor. That we need to stand alone. We need an independent state. So far, we have accomplished a lot of things in our nurse training. Sometimes I go to Port Moresby to attend conferences with the rest of the other principals of other schools of nursing. I always tell my story because many of the schools in the country were created by missionaries, by um, government. In Bougainville, we had an absence of 29 years post-conflict. We used to have our School of Nursing, which was one of the top schools in the country. And many of the students from that era are still working. They are now going to be phased out because they are at their retirement age. So, therefore, I am a proud person for creating this homegrown school for Bougainvilleans to train as nurses. And I believe this legacy will continue when I retire. I am not yet about to retire because there is a lot of things to do before I let go, and I know that I am satisfied. Like I said, Bougainville College will be 10 years next year. I am already negotiating with Divine Water University and St. Mary's School of Nursing Bougainville so that I can start up a Bachelor of Nursing program. And Divine Water is going to come in March. Their professor is coming for us to work on the 10 national qualification framework standards that they want me to meet before they can give us the affiliation. They can take us on the affiliation process. But so far, so good. He has this supported that we must move on in our nurse training. Currently, we are implementing a new curriculum. Our nursing curriculum was last reviewed in 2002. In 2023, we have come up with a new curriculum. This new curriculum has a lot of advantages, and it's an evidence-based curriculum that I am proud to be part of. And next year, I think we are going to be affiliated with Divine Water University. I don't want to amalgamate this yet. I will affiliate that we keep our identity until such time I think things are going smoothly, and then we can let the whole university come into our campus, and we can be called another campus of Divine Word University. ABG Health Minister, Mr. Dennis Lokonai, I gave my speech first, and then the second, he gave the keynote address, and that was kind of assurance that they were going to build a district hospital in Buin, a specialist hospital in Arawa, and another district hospital in Soraken, I think. And yeah. So he assured me, don't worry, they are all going to be employed. And also it also gives me another vision I had in mind. If they are not being employed in Bougainville, let's groom them. Let's graduate them. Let's put them in a pool so that we can export our nurses. There is a lot of export of nurses going on in the Pacific. Fiji is exporting nurses to Australia. Solomon Islands is exporting nurses to Vanuatu, to New Caledonia. Because I have a network of friends in those countries, because we all did our masters together in Australia. We still communicate. And they gave me this idea, graduate them, groom them, put them in a pool so that you have their contact numbers and you can start to negotiate around to export them. There's a lot of work outside if there's no work in Bougainville. So that is what I'm going to do.